Welcome back to another episode of Keep Your Reet, guys. My name is Callum and Jason has got me down here to figure out why the R34 isn't running. He gave it a bit too much of a gutful and has killed it. So we need to figure out what is the issue. So this R34 is actually Jason's rough around the edges practice car when he's not driving a Primo 2JZ wagon. It is a 2530 DE. So funny little fact is that head is the original one that it came out of the factory in Japan with. It runs a dog box and a Haltech ECU. Did have 760 horsepower, currently has 0. So we're gonna have to do some investigation. I've put the camera down the cylinders and with the back wheels, the pistons are moving, but the timing belt isn't. So we're thinking it's probably got a snap crank. So as I was pulling the belts off, I actually noticed that the harmonic balancer was wobbly. So we've got it up, we've pulled the sump off, and yeah, she's definitely snapped a rooney. So we're gonna have to chase up a motor, or at least a crank, so we can get that in there. We should be able to do it without actually taking the motor out, as you can see. So we'll just undo the cradle, oil pump off, back in, back out, and back it in, you know?
1 hour later.
Oh, Daniel from Shop 31, how you going?
Good, mate.
So you come to save the day for the 34.
Yep.
Brought us the old RB30 short block, bottom end. Thanks for bringing that down, mate.
No problem.
Saving us to get us done. We've got, I think, one more week before we have to get this thing back together. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Just been messing around with R31s for a long time. Turned into a bit of a business where happy to keep 31s on the road. So really love the cars. Got a little shop going and take them apart and sell them in parts. And
Yeah, good. That's it, mate. We'll make sure you reach out. I think you helped with, did you help with the barrel wags? I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
Barrel wags and the 2J wags with all little, those teething little trims that just sometimes disappear, or you just want the right colour or whatever it might be. So one of you go-to men for 31 parts. Make sure you reach out. You said you got like 6 cars in stock at the moment. So yeah. He's ready to go.
should have what you need.
Thanks again, mate. Appreciate
No
it.
worries. Thank you.
Let's get back to it.
Many hours later.
You can see Jason has secured us a short block from Shop 31. So he's pulled the crank out ready to go, but with the high volume oil pumps, you want to put one of these aftermarket collars on there from Nitto. Just gets you a bit more purchase on there. As you can see, the factory ones are quite small. So we're going to take it down to Bayswater to Greg at NTS, and he's gonna machine this collar down and get it on there for us. As well as we have mains and rod bearings from Nitto as well, they've sent them down. We don't know if we're gonna use them or not, but it's good to have them sitting there. You know, we'd rather be looking for them, looking at them than looking for them. So we've got the crank out of the car, and as per our suspicions, she's snapped off right at the back of the collar there. So as you can see by you sort of got the fresh looking metal where it snapped, and there's sort of a darker ring around the outside. We probably think that she was about to let go for quite some time before it fully shit itself. But we've got the new crank from Shop 31, and Greg at NTS has machined that up, put the collar on for the high pressure oil pump. Now we're about to assemble it, put it together with the bearings that Nitto supplied us, and get the crank back in the car and get it running spicy for the next Friday night drifts.
Jackson.
All right, so we've got everything torqued up, all the rod end bolts and the main cap bolts, but we ended up changing out the stock bolts for an ARP stud kit. So we've got like a stud and a nut here instead, just a bit stronger to handle the power. We thought while we're here, we may as well upgrade it. It's a bit silly to put the old bolts back in. So everything's torqued up and I'm ready to stick the sump back on now. All right, so got the sump on. So just before we fit the flywheel, we're just gonna change the spigot bearing. But the little tool we had wasn't quite getting any purchase, so we've actually shoved a bolt through with the nut on backwards. The nut stands on the spigot. Put the screwdriver in just to stop the nut slipping up. Then you do up this bolt, and as it goes further down the nut, it actually pulls the spigot out. So it's actually a pretty handy little trick, and you don't really need any specialized tools. Yeah, so you hold the screwdriver, the nut in with the screwdriver, and just doing this nut out. As you can see, it's actually the spigot bearing out, which is actually pretty handy because normally trying to use a bit of bread or a bit of grease doesn't really work. So now we've got sump on, we've got flywheel on and clutch on, everything's marked. Obviously there's a dowel hole to line the flywheel up, and then just mark the clutch before you pull it off, just in case. You know, if you didn't have a def wobble before, you don't want to change it. Well, now ready to slip the gearbox in. I've just lowered the motor down a little bit just to make it a bit easier to get back on. All right, so now I have the timing set on the 25-30 combo. Being that it is a 25-30, yeah, it's a bit hard to find information online, but pretty much the go is you want to set the 30 bottom end. Down here there's a little notch in the oil pump cover, and there's a dot on the bottom of the timing gear. So you want to line them two up, and then you just want to line the 25 head up with the standard notches on the back of the timing cover. That's going to set your timing in the correct spot. If you are unsure as well, you want to count 38 teeth. Obviously between the dot and the dot, there should be 38 teeth on the belt. That means that the cam gear is in the correct spot. So once you've got all that set up, then you're pretty well, you know you're right. Give the motor a turn over, make sure it all lands in the same spot again, and you're good to go. Beautiful. All right, we've got everything back together, gearbox in, sump on, fan in, all the belts on the motor. We're just gonna turn it over with the spark plugs out and the timing off, just so we won't fire, and build up a bit of oil pressure before we can start it and see how we go. Staying about 1.3, 1.2, 1.4. All right, so as we were turning it over, we could actually hear there's a bit of a sus sound coming from the head. So we didn't know 100% whether it bent a valve when the timing, or when the crank had broken. It did sound a bit dodgy. So we're just gonna hook the computer up here, see if we get oil pressure, I suppose, and then investigate further. Sounds like it's getting better.
What?
Sounds like it's going away.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
We're not building up any oil pressure, so we're going to try and sort of blow a bit of air down there and see if we can give it a bit of a jump start.
Non-proven technique.
We're making it up, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, typical RB things, not building oil pressure. I think especially with the Nitto oil pump, build oil pump, and we've had this problem with this motor before, so try the non-proven technique, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly, might invent something. None of them? Nah. Nah. Fuck, whatchamacallit? That do anything?
No. Was it getting oil?
Oh, the oil started to come, yeah, but probably out of the line, yeah. We're just putting some spark plugs in it. We're going to try and maybe fire it up and see if it builds pressure in the first few seconds of running. And if not, then back to the drawing board. All right, so we've just hooked everything up, did the fuel lines, put the spark plugs in there, tried to turn it over to see if it will fire, and it's kind of sounding like it's got no comp. So I think tomorrow morning we're going to give it a comp test and see which cylinders, maybe it's clipped a valve when it snapped the crank. But it's not looking good.
Many hours later.
Alrighty, it's your boy JB from down upstairs in the office. Normally the events guy, but Jace has got me down in the factory today because him and Callum have gone over to the States. Jace is doing round 2 of Jeff Jones's Hot Pit Auto Fest. So I was supposed to go over there, but too busy back here running the events, and we would land about 3 days before a Friday night drift. So I decided to stay back and sort of run the show down here in Melbourne, Australia. So as you might have seen last time, we got the R34 cranking, couldn't build oil pressure, and we think we may have a lack of compression. We think we may have bent some valves when the front nose of the crank snapped. Something's made contact potentially. So what we're doing today is I'm getting the car buttoned up to head down to NTS Automotive. Greg is gonna sort us out. He's gonna pull the head off. He's gonna have a look, try and solve the issue for us. Worst case scenario, we do have a mint condition R33 RB25 head in stock. So if you can't get this one going, can't get the valves fixed, can't get it all buttoned up, before Friday night drifts, we do have a backup option. So we're gonna get her buttoned up, put some LCAs on, get the tail shaft bolted in, and get her on the trailer somehow, because the car doesn't start, and it's just me and Zach. We've got to get her on the trailer, which is good fun. So that's going to be fun, isn't it, Zach? Oh yeah. Alrighty, big shout out to Greg from NTS Automotive. He's definitely helping us out a huge way here. So shout out to him in Bayswater. Let's get into it.
Always talking, I'm like, let them chat. I've been getting money, you know I can live with that. Legend in my city, when it showed it on the map. And if I leave this tomorrow, they gon' quote it as a fact. I'm like, who that could stop me? Carbon copies on my timeline. Get up out your ego, learn to think with your divine mind. Main role in my movie, get that boot if you ain't acting right. Biting on my
Hi, I'm Greg from NTS Automotive with Joel from Crummo's Automotive. We've got Keep It Reet's drift car in, which has broke a crankshaft. Somebody else has put a crank in it, but obviously it's got some more internal damages, maybe bent valves, broken valve guides. We won't know until we get it apart. So Joel's going to do a compression test on it, maybe rip the rocker covers off. We'll see how many valves are damaged, and then we'll sort of try and work out which is the easiest and the quickest way to repair it, either buy a new set of valves for it, or we can rob some valves out of a second-hand head, redo all the valve work. Joel will refit it back up, reset the timing, that we get it done on time for the time frame that Jason wants.
Yeah, so Joel is 50-50 sort of in the workshop with Greg down here at NTS Automotive. I actually didn't know that, but Joel Crummo's Automotive is doing the work on the RB here. He's actually got an RB Patrol, so which is pretty sick. So yeah, big thank you to you boys. Obviously, Joel, you've got till Friday to get it, so hopefully. But we know what it's like when you guys have to push a bunch of jobs out of the way, and really appreciate you helping us, boys. Instagram at Crummo's Automotive and NTS.
I don't have an Instagram.
The man's just, he's been around for a long time, he knows his stuff, so get down if you need anything, guys. But a big thank you, boys, for helping us out.
No worries.
Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, boys.
Good.
All right, we'll get it done, boys.
Yeah, g'day, I'm Joel from Crummo's Automotive in Bayswater. They put a crankshaft in it and it's had some issues, so we thought we'd rip into it and have a look. Previously we did a comp test on it as we were requested to. Compression on 2 cylinders, 4 cylinders, nothing. So as we all suspected, it had bent valves. So ripped it straight off, got straight into it. Luckily in this same factory we've got Greg at NTS, he's a machinist. He's done all the machine work on this. We're really lucky, the bottom end is fine. All the chamber in the cylinder heads is fine. It was just a matter of bent valves. So Greg smashed that out, and now I'm gonna smash it back on and get these boys parting again. So yeah, and that's it.
Alrighty, we're down here at NTS and Crummo's Automotive. Joel from Crummo's has fixed up the R34. So what do you got going on here, Joel?
So basically, as you might have seen earlier, we had all the engine apart, it bent some valves. Anyway, we already touched base on that. So it's been pretty straightforward mechanically. It's just replacing it all and making it work pretty much. Along the way though, we've had a little few 1% of things that we fixed up as well. So small things like the rocker cover tab was broken off, so we've welded up a new tab on the rocker cover. All the water gallery under the inlet manifold, that was held in by 1 bolt, so we fixed that. Just small things as well, like turned up some bushes on the lathe to the radiator because it's all held in by zip ties.
God damn.
Yeah, just doing all those little extra things, make sure it's all right. But other than that, mechanically, just putting a new head on it, new gaskets, and just making sure it works all good. So yeah.
You can tell you don't work on nugget drift cars. You're actually a proper mechanic, mate.
Yeah. So no, that's
properly.
said, just want to make it right so you guys can get out there and have a good time, and there's no dramas, hopefully.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate you fitting us in, Joel. I know you got a tight schedule. You're headed off somewhere.
Yeah, going away, just a short little holiday. So yeah, good little break. But as I said, we just smashed it out quickly so you can get out there.
Yeah. So we dropped it off on what, Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. The next day had the head off, and then it went to Greg at NTS. He's in the same shop, luckily, and then machined it straight away, got it done, and then straight back on.
Yeah, mate, and I forgot to give you a trigger.
Yeah, we I was going to fire it up and going, something's not right here, and then put my laptop in and it's got no trigger, and so we fixed that out and it's all good. So yeah, Yeah.
Look, Joel, do you want to start her up for us?
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
hear her purr. It's been a while since I heard the old R34 kick off. She's looking crispy.
Yeah, giving it a little tidy up. Oh yeah, it's all
Crispy.
good. Oh mate.
Well, thank you again.
No worries, thank you boys.
If
Hope you enjoy
anyone's interested, Joel at Crummos Automotive in Bayswater. We're in Bayswater, aren't we?
Yep, that's the one.
Obviously, the man has done his magic on this car. She's looking crispy. She's sounding crispy. She's ready for a big send. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, guys.
And she's back from Crummos. Thanks heaps to the guys, Crummos and Greg at NTS, to getting the Hebo done, blah, blah, blah. She's back together finally after a long time since we broke it. So now, long overdue, time to blaze some tires. So of course, we've got to head down to our huge upcoming Friday night drift, send off these tires and have a good time. Let's go. And she survived. She did well, absolutely blazed tires all night long, smacking Limmy, the old faithful RB30, that Turbo Smart Turbski, absolutely rinsing tires. I got heaps of passenger laps done, and it was one of our biggest Friday night drifts yet. We had more than 3,600 people down, which is a record for us. So thanks everyone that came down, said g'day and enjoyed the night. Now we've got to prepare for the next big one. But stoked the car, all worked all night long. It was a great night. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. How to get a broken crank and broken valves all back together in this RB30. Smack that like, subscribe, see you on the next one.